Right, welcome back to another video. I was planning on making this one a bit longer because the gameplay is a bit longer, but I decided I could touch up on a couple different topics. I ended up getting just about 12 kills, or yeah, I think 12 kills in this gameplay, so it should be quite the match, but I'll try and speed it up as much as I can to make it shorter. Anyways, first things first, I wanted to touch on. I know it's another T72 video, but I'm kind of playing this thing to Kingdom Come. I'm trying to grind out the Russian tech tree. Now that I have a full lineup, especially since I have the SU25K, but I've talked about the tank in previous videos, so you can hit those up if you want some commentary on this thing. But in terms of the SU25K, now I bought that thing on sale when it was 50% off. I think just about 2 years ago, or I think the Christmas after it came out. I'm not sure, but it was 50% off, and it came out to around $50 Canadian, and that thing's amazing. Usually I'll play this tank and I get a couple kills in it, maybe one or two, and then I move on to that thing. And that thing, with the 8S250s, I don't even bother using the guided missiles. Those rockets, those are killers. You don't even have to get direct hits. A launch within a couple meters of a tank, most cases will kill it. Now, besides gameplay and besides War Thunder, I'll touch up on that later in the video. I decided to sort of hit up a little something that maybe more of you can relate to, and I'm sure as most of you are playing this are avid gamers such as myself, you can probably relate to this. So it's quite the heavy snowstorm out here in Canada, where I live in, and it's the end of the week, so I decided I'll make a video on sort of just talking where I'm at and where I'm hopefully planning to go, and maybe you guys could take something away from this. So for some background information, as I've said before, I've played this game for a couple years now, and I'm planning on pursuing what here we call post-secondary, which for the uninformed is high school, or not high school, college, university, afterwards high school. And for most of my high school career, it's been online, especially with COVID. Within those 2 years, was when I racked up most of my hours in this game. But now, sort of growing up, I honestly prefer to say it's never stayed the same. Like before, I could come to this game to sort of relax, and for some reason, anytime I try to relax, I feel like I'm being unproductive for some reason. Like, basically, the only reason I play this game now is to make videos, hopefully, instead of having fun. Well, don't get me wrong, I still have fun, but I just feel like the world's constantly in changing pace, right? So you kind of have to keep up with it, and especially with the hyper social media, whatever environment you want to call it, that we have today. I'm sure many of you can relate, but you sort of get the feeling of maybe you're getting out competed by, or you're getting left behind if you don't work as much. And I know me personally, I relate to that heavily. Like, I always sort of self-doubt myself playing or watching videos online, and I think to myself, I could really be doing something more productive. And most of my friends come up to me and they're like, take a step back. You're still in high school, still have some time to, sort of relax and everything. And I think that is also a major thing. All this hype about hustling and everything, and I was definitely caught up into that. I definitely still am. I'm not gonna, make a false claim to that fact. I definitely still think that I should be hustling. Even right now, I feel like I should be doing something more productive, making videos. But at least it feels better than watching YouTube, right? But I feel like it's all good and all to be productive. It's all good enough to have that motivation, and you should always, strive to do more than what you are doing right now. I always try to tell my friends that it's always a good thing, never take it as a downside to life to want to work, to want to progress. But especially in today's world, I feel like, especially if you're a kid like me, where I don't think people realize it, but to my own extent, I will admit I am very impressionable because I because I am still a kid. You know what I mean? So, but I feel like the difference that makes, whereas an adult versus a kid playing a game, feeling productive. I feel like if you're an adult, at least, and this is for me, this is my opinion, right? But if you're an adult, really, I think you can still take back and enjoy life at times, and I think that's what the real, sort of meaning of life is. I mean, if you're not gonna sit back and enjoy your hard-earned riches and once in a while, then I don't think you know you're playing it just as right. Now, don't get me wrong, I was raised that way, and I still am that guy of scratching every penny I can, not spending a dime. It's only recently where I've gotten to the state of getting convinced by my more looser friends to sort of loosen up and enjoy more, and I can say wholeheartedly that I fully appreciate them. I don't regret it at all. I in fact genuinely thank them for telling that to me. The difference is you feel good when you're productive. I can say that I definitely felt good, but there's also a thing of school. Now school is a big thing. When school comes into that play, you sort of get burnt out, and I'm sure many of you can relate. If you're constantly working, especially as a kid, you're definitely gonna get burnt out, and I've experienced that firsthand. I'm not just saying that just to say it. Um, a little sidetrack here. I hopped in the SC25K, and this thing's just a menace. It does not care about anything. The one threat you do have, which is pretty big threat, is anti-airs, especially at this BR with their IR seekers, Imperial, Chaparrals, whatever those are, Ocelots, stuff like that. That will be the bane of your existence in this thing at this BR. So you gotta be worrisome about those, especially if you run solid flares. Most of the time, that it will not work against the IR missiles that these SBA carriers hold. But when you aren't getting targeted by an SBA, these AS-250s surely come in handy. Like, these are not to be messed around with. Basically, every shot I get on is a kill, and I end up getting 12 kills in this game because of this plane. But relating back, this footage is a couple days old, of course, as always. But yeah, I feel like you shouldn't take the worry of always progressing as much as you should. Maybe, I mean, I certainly feel to this day that I always should work or whatever, but especially recently when I've tried to work my way throughout the last year of high school to prepare for university, I haven't been able to find myself enjoying a lot of things in terms of rest. My mind has always been on working, work, and I understand. And I just talked about work, relaxing, but truly, I don't know, for some reason, with school always in the back of my mind, I can't find a reason to not stress. And I have exams coming up. I have conditional offers where I need to make a certain grade, and those are wrecking hell on my on my serenity. But that's not to say, of course, you can get through that. Of course, if you have good grades, whatever, I'm sure you can make it through. But for me, it was always like sort of video games, and I don't want to be that guy, but truly, I will be honest. For me, it was always video games that sort of was that barrier between like the two worlds of stressing and relaxing. But as I'm sort of growing older, I find that to be straying away from what it used to be. I don't find that to be true anymore. Simply put, for the reason of the amount of work I have, and I just caught fire from a stray round right there. These Vilcosses, I'm not sure what vehicle they are, but like they have been doing havoc at this top tier VR. So I'm not sure if they're good. I mean, if you played them, please let me know. And funny enough, I had a backup here. I will admit, cast is a bit nutty in this game. It's very, I mean, you got 8 rockets which are pretty much surefire kills, but This thing is amazing. I mean, if you're gonna grind the Russian air tech tree, you should definitely pursue this thing. But you should also pursue the real life things you have. I mean, as much as you might want to say that video games help you relax, don't get caught up into the sort of drag of this. I know I definitely get did for those 2 years, and I sort of semi regret those 2 years because I've spent so much time relying on video games to take the stress off that now I feel like I just can't, like, even when I'm playing the game, like, save right now, I just got another kill. It doesn't mean anything to me, which is very dangerous. Never get into that, because when you get into that, that's the point of addiction. I don't want any of you to be dealing with that. But so we ended off the match with around 12 kills. I know I did get 2 deaths. I'm trying to work my way up with the T72. I hope I can. I am getting higher in the Russian beat tech tree as well. Near the BTR 80, so I mean that must be something good, right? So finishing off the match here. It was a wonderful match, and if there's one thing you will take away from this video is, which I would prefer for you to, is definitely don't get caught up in the hustle, but don't get caught up in the rest. I know it's counterintuitive, but it's a hard world out there. Please do not make the wrong decisions. I'll try and make more videos like this, but I hope you enjoyed, and as always, have a great day. And that's why I'm a Canadian, so